guys, it's Megan, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than I've ever done on my channel, and I'm really excited for it. I'm going to be talking about my least favorite, or what I think in my opinion were the worst products of 2017. I binge watch these videos like crazy, and I have for years, but I've honestly never really had enough makeup product to even feel like I was properly discussing what I thought were the best and worst products, because I was kind of just talking about everything I owned. But this year I've really built my collection, and I sort of stuff to come, and I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of what were the best and worst products to come out of the beauty world in 2017. I don't have every single product that I'm going to be talking about because I am obviously not someone who receives PR. I don't just get free makeup. I do have to buy it all myself. And so when I don't like something, I do take it back, and I do a lot of research before buying something expensive, so I will kind of know if it sucks or not. But I do have most of it. There's just a couple of little things that I did take back that I do want to bring up because they were that bad. Of course, these are my opinions, and just because I bring up something that I hated doesn't mean that you have to hate it, and obviously just because something didn't work for me doesn't mean that it won't work for you. I don't really hate any of these products, and all of these products come from brands that I love, and every single brand is going to put out some things that just don't work. But that's just kind of how makeup works. Not everything is going to work for everybody, and if you want to hear what I think were the worst products to come out of the beauty world in 2017, then make sure to keep on watching. Alright, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. So this is my little bag of products that I hated. I do have far less products that I hated compared to products that I loved, but I still want to bring them up anyways, just because I don't really tend to buy products that I don't think I'm really gonna love, and I look up those reviews, so if I think that they're gonna suck, I just don't buy it. However, there are a few that I do want to talk about. Okay. Before I put this in here, I need to point out that Wet n Wild is my favorite drugstore brand. Well, I love NYX too, but I really, really love Wet n Wild. I own most of the things that they sell in the drugstore, but this product just did not work for me, and that was this freaking eyeshadow palette, man. There's just no pigment, and I was really, really excited to try this because I really love the colors, and I thought that I'd be able to get some really good cool looks out of this, and really honestly the pigment is just not there. The blendability is alright, but it's not great either. I don't know why there's glitter in the black. I wasn't able to tell that when I bought it, but yeah, I thought it was going to be really good, and it's really not. Now, I have heard that Wet n Wild, no, I haven't heard, I know for a fact that Wet n Wild is revamping their eyeshadow palettes. In fact, they're already out and available on their website, and I've heard that those formulas are amazing. So hopefully once those are in store, I can get my hands on them and try those. But yeah, that palette just, no pigment, man, and I was sad because I wanted it to have pigment because I love the color scheme. These are the swatches for that palette, and honestly it doesn't swatch that bad, but when you blend it out it just goes away. The color just goes away, and the swatches weren't even that good. I feel like if I were to maybe put some primer on it, it might swatch a little bit better, but it just we've got to do it. We just got to get it over with. Subculture. I wanted to love this palette. I wanted to love it. I was rooting for you. So in my tutorial for this palette, I talked about how I pretty much loved it and how I didn't really see what the problem was, and I did talk about how I thought there was good and bad batches of it, and that I thought I got a good batch. I do still, to an extent, kind of think that's true, but once I tried to do another look with this palette, it didn't go good. This shade Edge down here, I've never had an eyeshadow oxidize, and it did. And I didn't use that shade in my original look, and it turned muddy. It looked like greenish gray, and I didn't understand why, because it was the only shade I had on my eye. And I understand that when you mix greens and reds, they're going to turn muddy, but I wasn't doing that because I kept that in mind, and when you're trying to blend it out, it just doesn't do what you want it to do. It skips, and it's just not right, and it's not an eyeshadow palette. That's the other thing, is that this is literally a pigment palette, and Norvina and Anastasia have come out and said that. And I don't know why they didn't market it that way, because you work with pigments a lot differently than you work with eyeshadows. You can blend eyeshadows and go in with a fluffy brush, but with pigments, it's gonna make a mess, so you're supposed to pack them on and then blend it out. And it just, a palette with a learning curve for $40. I don't understand, especially when Modern Renaissance was so good. And truly, like, if I have enough time to sit down, I can get a good look with this, but it's not practical. I can't use it every day because I know that I'm gonna spend forever. There's shades I have to avoid. Oh my god, All Star, that maroon. I love maroon eyeshadows, and it's just, it's not. It doesn't blend. It doesn't blend. If I'm gonna do my eyeshadow how I usually do, not going for Subculture. And I love Anastasia, and I wanted to love this palette because the color scheme is on point, but it didn't work. It didn't work. I really like Prism. I didn't put it in here because I honestly haven't used it enough to like form a proper opinion on it, but Prism was good. Do we even need to talk about Lime Crime? I don't know why I bought these. The matte velveteens are old news. Like, they've had these around for a while, but I decided to try Lime Crime for the first time this year. I've wanted the Venus palette, but I've never picked it up. But they were having a sale on their matte velveteens, and I'd heard good things about them, and oh my god, I will never buy them again. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. I don't feel that bad talking lowly on Lime Crime because they have no ethics. It's old news. They've stolen from their customers. There's been lawsuits. It's been a mess, but their ethics are bad, and these lipsticks are bad. I can't speak for their other products, but for $20, they're tiny, like, and they're tiny, and you need a lot in order to cover your lips because it's really not that pigmented, and it's just, for $18, I'd rather get an Anastasia one. They don't last. They just, you drink anything, you eat anything, it's gone, it's feathering. I don't like the way it looks on my lips. It looks cakey. It feels like it's gonna be thin, but it's cakey. These matte ones, honey, no. This Wet n Wild glitter, I don't even think they sell these anymore. I think that I got this at the beginning of 2017 at like Walmart, and it might have been on sale. But it is like a cream glitter. It's from the Color Icon line, and it doesn't, like, where is it? There's just not very much glitter in the glitter, and I thought it was gonna be a really pretty cream glitter and that I'd be able to put it on my eyes, but honestly it only works like if you're just trying to put like glitter on your cheeks or something like that. Like, it's almost like kids dance makeup. And this primer, I have beef with this primer. This primer broke me out. This primer made me sad. $16, you guys, for a drugstore primer. It better be good, and it feels good. I really like the texture. I really like the way it goes on, and it makes you think that it's gonna give your foundation a nice base, but honestly, I couldn't tell any difference when I really like paid attention to it, and it broke me out like nothing else. Like, as soon as I started using this, I was a pimply mess, and when I stopped, they started to go away. So if you're acne prone, just don't do it. Another Wet n Wild product that did me dirty this year was this Mega Glow Hello Halo. Oh, oof. I wanted this to work so bad. The swatches are so pretty, and it swatches so pretty. Like, look how pretty that would have looked, but honestly, it just didn't work. Like, when you blend it out, it just kind of goes away, and when you add more, it cakes up, and ultimately it just lifted my foundation, and it didn't like go on top of it. It just kind of mixed and lifted it, and I had to literally take off my face makeup. But I had to literally take off my face makeup because it mixed with it, and it just looked so bad. So this is going back to Walgreens. I've got to take it back. It wasn't good. I wanted it to be good, and just for me, it wasn't good. Maybe it was my foundation, but just not gonna work for me, dude. But it's gonna be a no from me, dog. Okay, I want to talk about a foundation that I took back because I was not about to do that to myself. NARS All Day Radiance did me dirty. I was so mad, and it's $50. No foundation has ever looked worse. One of my co-workers, who's literally like the nicest girl, she's not gonna tell you look bad ever. I asked her, like, is it separating? And she was like, yeah. And it just looked so patchy and so bad, and it was $50. I took it back so quickly. I've been told now that it is specifically for people with dry skin. Didn't really make a lot of sense to me because it was matte, but I guess I should have listened to the name more. It just, $50, it should have done me better. And they test on animals, so it's like, if you're gonna test on animals and charge $50 for a foundation that's gonna like jack me up and make me look busted, Bye. This foundation from Becca, just not really my thing either. This is the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream, and honestly it just didn't look that good on my skin. Like, it just looked like I was wearing a drugstore foundation, and I really just don't like a lot of drugstore foundations. There's only a couple that work for me, and so if I'm gonna pay this much for a foundation, I just do not want it to look like drugstore. I want it to look flawless. I want it to look like I paid $40 or whatever the cost of this was, but it didn't last long. It did separate. I'm not gonna buy it again. If I could return it, I would, but I was out of foundation, so I pretty much used most of it. And yeah, it's just not for me. And if you have oily skin, I just do not recommend it to you. And my roommate, who has dry skin, really hated it too, so I don't know what sort of skin you're supposed to have in order to love that foundation, but it is not mine. I was recommended these liquid lipsticks by another YouTuber. I don't even remember who, but they said it was a really thin formula that looked really natural but added color to your lips, but still had pigment. I don't know. They were trying to explain it. It was just supposed to be really lightweight and almost just feel like you're wearing nothing. So I wanted it for the days when I was more natural. And it just was really, really patchy. I liked the way it went on and it made my lips feel, but then as it dried, it almost felt like plastic. And then it just got really patchy. If I would take a drink of water or anything like that, it would just like peel off in the weirdest ways, and it did not work for me. I will not buy these again. This Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara from L'Oreal is a freaking joke. It was supposed to be a dupe of Better Than Sex by Too Faced, and it just is not. I mean, it's a decent mascara for drugstore, but I think it was like $11, and it's not worth $11. There are better drugstore mascaras for cheaper. For $11 you could get a mini Better Than Sex mascara, or just pay $9 more and get a real full-size Better Than Sex mascara, and it's just gonna do you probably 5 times as good as this one does. It doesn't volumize as much. It's not as black. It didn't curl my lashes at all. And that's what it said it was gonna do, and it didn't. So no thank you. This metallic liquid lipstick by Milani, I did not really like it, and only for one reason, and that's because in here it looks like a really nice pretty maroon, and then on my lips it is caca brown, dude. And I say that because there are some brown liquid lipsticks that are gorgeous. Browns are some of my favorites, and there are really pretty brown metallic liquid lipsticks that are gorgeous too, but this was not a pretty brown. It almost had a green undertone, and I didn't understand because in here it looks like maroon with like a little bit of gold, and it just came out a completely different color. And I'll try to swatch it, but it seems like whenever I swatch it, it turns out fine. It's just when I put it on my lips. Oh my god! You guys, I just got it all over this bag and all over my desk because I was kind of tilting it. It's so runny. Ew! Every liquid lipstick I've ever had has not ever poured out when I've tilted it. How does that happen? Isn't there supposed to be something that stops it? Okay, now this, I really hate this liquid lipstick because it freaking exploded all over me. I've never had that happen. It's so runny. I forgot how runny it is. Okay, this shade, I would just probably avoid it. The other ones really aren't that bad. Ugh, no. And see, on my hand it looks really pretty, but once I put it on my lips, it was just like brown with like a green undertone, and it just, nah. Not for me, dude. This one is the shade number 9. Why is there no shade name? No, I know that there's names in it, but this is number 9. I really like the rose gold one, and there's like a reddish orange one. I like that one a lot better, but don't get this one. It just ruined my desk. Away We Glow by NYX, kind of just same thing as the Wet n Wild one. It lifted. I don't like cream. I don't like cream highlights. But there's a few higher end ones that I can work with, that I can put underneath my powder ones, that really do make it last longer and make it a lot more blinding. So I tried out this NYX one to see if it would work, and yeah, it just lifted my foundation and it didn't blend out. It just looked like a white, disgusting sort of like I had food on my, or like I smeared it just wrong. And I don't know why I didn't take this back, because it's pretty. It just, once you blend it out, it's just kind of just lifts your foundation, and why would you want that? So unfortunately this was a no-go for me, and this one is in the shade Moon Glow. So maybe I'll pick up a different one and it'll work, but I doubt it. Alright, and that is going to do it for the video, you guys. I really enjoyed doing a video like this where I just got to sit down and talk about makeup, so I'm definitely going to try to do more videos like this a lot in 2018, and I'm really, really excited for what my channel has to bring. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit subscribe because I'm going to have a lot more where it came from and you wouldn't want to miss out on that. I hope that you guys had an amazing holiday season, and I hope that 2017 gave you everything that you wanted from it, and I hope that 2018 starts off amazingly for you, and I couldn't thank you more for sticking around this long ass video and hearing me ramble about makeup, because I love makeup and I hope that you guys can just understand my love for it through my videos, and I'm just really excited for 2018 because big things are gonna happen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in 2018. Bye!